Good morning, carnivores. Jimmy V. Thanks for coming back to Becoming One, the place where all things come together. This morning I'm on my way into the grocery store, and I'm going to take a look at prices on meat, prices on different meat products, but animal-based products that I could get. Take a look at budget constraints, and just see what I can really get at a minimum price to be able to maintain this carnivore diet. Let's get into it.
So full of the say it with me. Cow, 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 cow.
So this is looking like a pretty good buy. $7 for 10 pounds chicken legs. Looks like there's probably, there's a lot of chicken legs in there. That's a pretty good buy. I think I may grab that while I'm here. So here's another find. Vienna sausages for $1.99. Here's a potential for breakfast. Looks like we got some small pork chops. They're kind of small, but I like how they got a nice trim of fat around it. It looks like it'd be pretty easy to just throw in a pan and fry. So here's another good one, and this is something that I have seen before, is that if you look at the price per pound, $1.99 a pound for that whole thing, I could take that home and cut it up probably. Whereas if I look at this, where it's already cut up, $3.99 per pound. So this is a pretty good price on cheese, so I'm going to grab one of those while I'm here. $2 for 8 ounces, I guess it's about the best I've found so far. So here's another cool find. Looks like Danish sausages. What is that unit price? $1.80. $1.80. This thing is what? 10 ounces? A little over half a pound of sausage. And look at the sausage and eggs directions on it. So it looks like here a 2-pack of Spam, $6.67. And I don't know about you guys, but this is probably more my style. $2.18. It's got pork and chicken in it. I could knock one of those out in a meal easily. They got one that's actually legit chicken too. And that, there's a good buy. $16. Tuna in oil. Okay, so I'm back at home. I've been shopping. I went to 4 different grocery stores today, trying to find the best bang for my buck so that I could do carnivore on a budget. I set myself a budget of $50. I know that's not much during times today. However, I think I was successful. Let me show you what I've got so far. So I ended up going to a store called United first, and while I was there, there were things that I was looking for pricing. Some of the things that I was actually specifically looking for was like tuna in a can, salmon in a can, Spam, potted meat, Vienna sausages, things like that were very cheap and that I could probably get more of for less money. And so, although I did find those things there were 2 things that I found that I said, I've just got to get this and walk away with. So the first one I found was a 10-pound bag of chicken legs. Now, this 10-pound bag of chicken legs was $6.90. So that's 69 cents a pound for chicken legs. And I can guarantee you there's probably at least 15, there might be upwards of 18 in here. So I felt like that was such a good deal, I needed to walk away with it. The next thing that I got was Vienna sausages. These are larger size cans, and I thought that this would be a good snack or maybe something good to add in addition to either my chicken legs or something else for a meal. I got two, I think it was two of these. I got two of those cans. They were $2 a piece. So I felt like that was probably a pretty good buy. The next place I went was a place called Homeland. And when I went there, one of the things that I found was that if you can get meat in larger quantities, where the butcher does not have to actually do much work, you're going to get a better price per pound on it. And at Homeland, the pork shoulders, they were really good. The price per pound was something like, I think, $2.50 per pound. And they had pork shoulders that were about 4 pounds a pop. So I really felt that was like a very good deal, but I wanted to go to another store and just kind of compare prices before I dove in and bought that. I did not get anything while I was at Homeland. I didn't find anything there that I really wanted to pick up and get, because I was really trying to find things that are inexpensive. So the next place I went was Walmart. And of course, I walk in and the first place I go is the meat aisle. So one of the first things that I saw was I went by the seafood area of that, and all of the seafood was more expensive than what I really wanted to pay. I really felt like some of that seafood was really going to blow my budget, and so I stayed away from it. Next place I went to, though, was where all the beef was. And I found that they have big rolls of ground beef hamburger, and relatively priced pretty good, I think. So this particular one, I got a 10-pound roll that is 73% and 27% fat for $27.76. So that's about $2.77 a pound. Which, when you compare the smaller size packages, you're going to spend $1 more per pound at least. So I felt like the time and effort to break this down into 1 pound whenever I got home was well worth it, saving the money. I went and I looked at the pork. I compared the price of pork and to what I saw at Homeland, and I really didn't see any reason why I should buy that at Walmart. If I wanted the pork, I felt like I'd get a better price at Homeland. So I went on down the aisle, and what I ran into next was the cheese. And all the cheese, the shredded cheese, all that stuff seemed to be a little bit more expensive than what I wanted. We're talking like $3.30 to $4 for a package of cheese. What I did find was some 8-ounce blocks of cheese for $2. So I had to grab one of those. I mean, I can shred this up. I can shred this up and put it on food, or I can cut it up and snack on it. Like United, I also went to look at where like canned tuna, salmon, things like that were. And what I did find was they had a lot of sardines in oil. I know some people are cringing saying, ooh, but this is a cheap source of protein, and it's in oil, so it should also help to contain or preserve those good fats as well, versus something that's stored in water. Another thing that I got on that aisle, which I found, which was awesome, by the way, the sardines were $1.07 for that little can. I've never had them before, but I'm going to try them. And I don't know if I'll ever have them again or not, but we'll find out. The next thing I got was, I did find what I was looking for, and that was tuna in a can. This is actually in oil. This is chicken in the sea. And I managed to pick those up for $1.16 a can. So all in all, everything that I bought here, I managed to pick up for $48.12. I can make 10 dinners out of this, at least another 4 out of this. That gets me 2 weeks worth of dinner and snacks. You might be saying, what about breakfast, James? Well, do you remember when everybody made a run on the stores to buy toilet paper? I didn't buy toilet paper. I made a run to Atwood's to buy chickens. So I've got half a dozen chickens. I get half a dozen eggs. I've got 11 chickens, 1 rooster, and 10 hens. And they're popping out half a dozen eggs a day. So that's my breakfast. Now, it does cost me about $20 every 2 weeks to feed those chickens. And so when you calculate that into it, I'm at $68.12 for 2 weeks worth of food on a carnivore diet. I'm drinking water. That's all I drink is water. So I'm looking pretty good. I think that a person could legitimately do carnivore on a budget. I would have never thought that I could eat for 2 weeks on $68.12. Now, is that the best meat that I'm buying? No. But would it get me started in the right direction? Absolutely. One other thing I wanted to mention was I did find tuna and chicken in a little package about that wide. It's an individual serving. Those were about $1.25 to $1.50 a piece. So it didn't seem like there was a lot in there, but that's pretty inexpensive for a source of protein. So all in all, I'm really surprised at how little I spent and how far that would stretch. So if you enjoyed this content, if you're getting some sort of benefit or learning something new from my content, please do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm Jimmy B. Thanks for coming to Becoming One. Signing off.